This is episode 39 of Inside the Interview Room. I'm your host, Stan Walters. Miss a step, lose reliability. Episode 39, the title is The IBM Instructions Tester. It'll make sense in just a moment. Many years ago, had a guy in our Sunday school class, we'll call him Rex, because that was his name, worked for the IBM company. I lived near Lexington, Kentucky, and the IBM plant and research facility was over in Lexington, about 15 miles from our house. Rex was in our Sunday school class. Now, talking about reliability, what I've been teaching in the class, when you listen to a subject statement, and it's almost like if you see a storyboard, like for movie scenes as a director would use, and you can see the scene play out, then you've got fairly reliable statement, because then you see the transition from scene to scene to scene. And the other day, I had not thought about this guy for a long time. So let me explain the IBM instructions tester method. So I asked Rex, I thought he was researcher or whatever. I said, what do you do over there at IBM? He said, I test the repair instructions. Okay, how do you do that? Okay, so what he does, for example, let's say he's repairing an IBM Selectric ball typewriter, for those of you old enough to know what they are, and he's going to do a particular repair. Next to him is a guy reading the written instruction manuals for that particular repair. So this guy over here would read a line, Rex would follow the instructions. The guy read the next line, the guy would follow the instructions. The guy read the next line, and Rex would stop. Like let's say it was remove the platen. Guess what? What's wrong? He said, you didn't tell me to untighten the screws. Oh, okay. So they would edit the instructions on the repair manual. Now, translate that to what you're talking with a victim, witness, suspect, informant, applicant, whatever, okay? And you're describing events. Think of it as like you are the IBM instructions manual tester. So if you were to, if like on YouTube, if you were to follow the set of instructions to fix the carburetor, could you follow this step by step and get the results that you're supposed to get? So think of that with your subject. Okay, if you were to follow their instructions, follow their description of the event, could you totally reenact it? If there was something missing, then you need to reset and ask more questions and say, what's the transition from point 13 to point 14? So think of it in that terms. Now, whether it's my confession, whether it's a witness statement, whether it's a victim statement, okay. Now, traumatized people will leave things out, they'll jump over things, etc. But do you want somebody to rush through the repair of your carburetor or changing the water pump or fixing some piece of high-tech equipment? Do you skip a step and not have a problem? Look for the missing steps, and as your follow-up question, ask more about those missing areas. You forgot to tell me to remove the screws. All right, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you get notifications of each session coming out. Coming up next week will be episode number 40. Okay, so we want to be sure you get notifications of that. And remember, the choices that you make in the interview room will eventually play out in the courtroom. So until I see you next week, be safe.